What's up, guys? It's your boy Zawoki back out with another Chris Watts video. You don't need to see my drinks. We're going to be getting into the new video that you guys have been wanting me to watch, which was Chris Watts' prison letters leak. This is apparently a new one. The secrets he's tried to bury. I've been told from you as the viewers on my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter in my messages that I need to watch this, and including around the 11:30 mark, and we're gonna watch it all together right now. So grab a chair and get comfortable. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it, so when I do post videos like this one or all the other ones, you guys will get that notification ring, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you so much for the love and support that you guys do on my channel. We are creeping by the numbers, obviously. We have another 27,000 more subscribers to get, and I think we can get there one day to reach 100K. Don't forget to tell your friends, tell your family, or anybody you guys know, and then also show that same love over at Dark Matters True Crime. Go give them some love. And if you don't want to watch with me, I completely understand. Not a lot of people can watch with a commentary, opinionated reaction channel. So link is in the description. Go watch it, but come back and let me know in the comments what your final say is on this video. But for those that want to watch, let's get into it.
Tell me about the pregnancy. How did you guys find out, and what did they say about that?
Well, that she just found out she was pregnant?
Yes.
Oh, she called us and told us
Okay.
that she was pregnant again. And it's something that, you know, with her health, she had problems with Bella, she had problems with Celeste, and we were worried about her health. Now, I understand you want to try to have a boy, but we're worried about your health before you have another baby. And
Oh, that sounds like a father that wanted his daughter dead. I still can't believe that people want to sit there and try to blame the Ruseks.
they were trying, from what we were told, they were trying to have another baby. And then when she was pregnant, she had, you know, every time she was pregnant, she did something big for Chris. It would, you know, this surprise, you know, go upstairs and read this, and she had shirts made for everybody. Said,
That's
you know,
fun.
we're expecting again, or something like that. It said, and he came walking in the house because she had on video. She's got to have 6,000 videos and pictures on her phone. And you see him come in, he was all excited and everything else, and I don't know. And then that Monday when she came back, she told Chris had told us that she had a sealed letter. So he told her, this was enough, because we kept asking Shannon, what is it? What is it? I don't know yet, Dad. I don't know yet. And we know she went to the doctor before she left. She said, I don't know. And then he said that she had a sealed envelope or a sealed letter from the doctor's office telling them what the sex was of the baby. So I never got to see that from her.
You know, so you know who prompted having a third child? Was that her idea? Was he pushing for it? Do you know?
They were trying to have a boy. He wanted to have a boy.
Okay.
He wanted a boy. He wanted a son. And then you get those people that are like, oh my gosh, he made Shanann have another baby. He wanted the third baby. He wanted a boy.
Even though Celeste was a tomboy.
Yeah.
She was
like a grandmother. At fire.
When was the last time you talked to Shannon?
before she left.
I don't remember hearing this from Frank.
I can look at my phone and tell you exactly.
Before she left for
Arizona.
Okay.
And then I just texted her, you know, told her to have a safe trip back. And
how often would you talk to her?
every day.
Every day?
Every day we'd FaceTime. And didn't miss a day. If I missed a day, I was going crazy without seeing them kids.
But that's when she was at home? Is that what you said
I
earlier?
FaceTimed them even when Chris was there. So if she wasn't there, I still FaceTimed.
Okay.
I FaceTime almost every night unless I got home late from work and the babies were sleeping.
7 years after the world watched one of the most horrifying family murders unfold,
Sounds like a great grandpa there.
the name Chris Watts has returned to the spotlight, and not because of a new confession, but because of a rumor that's spreading like wildfire.
I want to hear it.
A claim so explosive, so disturbing, that if it's true, it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Watts case. It began quietly, in the corners of online true crime forums and leaked prison correspondence. A mysterious letter allegedly written by Chris himself, hinting that someone else knew, that he wasn't completely alone in the events of that night.
We know.
The words, cryptic yet deliberate, were enough to send shockwaves through a community that believed the case was long settled. Investigators once called this tragedy open and shut. But what if it wasn't?
It's not.
What if there were secrets buried deeper than the oil fields where Sean and her daughters were found?
There's
The
definitely
idea
secrets.
sounds unthinkable, and yet, strange inconsistencies have always lingered. Deleted phone data, missing text records, timelines that don't quite align. Could there be truth hidden in the noise?
Yes.
Prison guards have reported what's growing anxious, paranoid, and increasingly reclusive, as if terrified someone might finally expose the full story. And in the digital shadows, whispers grow louder. Was Nichol Kessinger, the mistress who vanished from public life, more involved than anyone realized? This episode will peel back those layers, the evidence, the claims, the theories, to uncover what might truly be happening behind bars. Because if this rumor is true, the Chris Watts case may be about to explode open.
I don't think the Chris Watts case will open again. If this goes down where there's evidence that supports Nichol Kessinger being involved, it's going to be the Nichol Kessinger case. It's going to be about her at a trial. I don't believe that it's going to be anything to do with Chris. It's going to be its whole separate entity case in which a lot of people, professionals that I've talked with, have stated that that's how it's going to work. If it opens, that is.
And once again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime, where the shadows always tell the truth.
Ooh,
It
that's a good
started
one.
with whispers, a few cryptic posts on Reddit, then a photograph shared in a private Facebook group, a letter allegedly handwritten by Chris Watts, mailed from Dodge Correctional Institution.
Who?
The paper was yellowed, folded, and smudged, but one line stood out in dark ink. I wasn't the only one there that night. First, no one believed it. The handwriting looked eerily similar to previous verified letters from Chris, yet the content felt too revealing, too dangerous. But then, another letter surfaced. This one sent weeks apart, to a different recipient, carrying the same undertone of fear and regret.
But who?
Chris claimed that others helped set things in motion, and that Sean never saw it coming. What did that mean? Was it a plea for sympathy, or a confession to something bigger?
He doesn't want to share in the punishment anymore. Or he doesn't want that. No, wait, hold on. He doesn't want to be the only one in the punishment. He wants to share the punishment.
As investigators re-examined the authenticity, online sleuths began connecting dots. Inmates reported that Watts had grown withdrawn, writing obsessively during late nights. Guards confirmed he received a steady stream of fan mail, some innocent, some disturbingly infatuated. Could one of those
There are women out there that like want to be encased with Chris. Sleuths of letters that are just deliberately disgusting.
correspondents have drawn the truth out of him? Even more unsettling were reports that Chris's demeanor had changed. He told a chaplain that his nightmares had grown unbearable, that truth has a way of finding the light. Theories began to spiral. Was he referring to Nichol Kessinger, the woman who disappeared from public view after the murders? Or was it something, or someone else entirely? Whatever it was, something about these new letters felt different. More deliberate, more dangerous, and for the first time in years, law enforcement quietly began paying attention again. When investigators first questioned Nichol Kessinger, she insisted she knew nothing about the murders, that she thought Chris Watts
We know better, Nicole. We know better.
was a man trapped in a loveless marriage, preparing for divorce. Her words were calm, rehearsed, even tearful.
Yes.
Okay.
But when we say tearful, we're talking about fake tearful. We're not talking about like actual, like completely bawling. Like she's like crying for a minute to 2 minutes and then shut off.
Again, this room is recorded and video and audio. We introduced ourselves in the lobbies and earlier, so we're just going to do that again real quick. My name's Kevin Kovac. I'm with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and we're assisting the Frederick Police Department with this case involving Chris Watts. And this is Tim Martinez, also an agent at CBI. Sir, if you just introduce yourself.
Dwayne Kessinger. I'm Nicole's father.
And why is he in there?
What's your birthday?
November 3rd, 1958.
And home address for you, sir?
8801 West 65th.
Yeah. I'm not going to get in trouble for...
Other stuff.
Yes, please.
I live at 12255
She doesn't live there anymore.
Cloud Court, Unit 612, phone number 720-656-98024.
You've already had a conversation with people before. You came here on your own free will to talk to us,
Hold on.
and we won't be... Okay, can you speak up just a little bit so the recorder... I know you're tired and you're stressed, and we won't be here any longer than...
And then when they were in the lobby, that's what they talked about, is their plan to make it look like they're interviewing her for questions.
We have to be... You've already had a conversation with people before. You came here on your own free will.
Who people? Huh?
To talk to us. We picked you up at your request and brought you here. You can get up and leave at any time. You don't have to talk to us. If there's a question you don't want to answer, don't answer it. If you don't want to talk anymore, just tell me I want to leave. And I'm kind of in the way of the door, but you're not being you're not being interrogated as a criminal suspect. We're here to understand your relationship with Chris and what you know about Chris and his family, and events relating to Chris Watts. And do you know him as Chris or Christopher?
Either one.
Okay. So the phone number...
She acts as though she's like she's been through so much turmoil, and I'm a victim too. I almost died. No, you didn't.
Number that you reached him on, can you tell me what that number was?
I think I deleted that out of my phone too. I just like cut him out of my life. It's a 910 number. You guys have it.
We gave it to Mark yesterday.
Yeah, I probably
You'll
have it,
have
but
it.
just in case.
I don't have it
If I
anymore.
recited it to you, would you know it?
Just
But years later, as these new letters surfaced, cracks began to show in the story everyone thought was sealed.
That man has nothing to do but write letters.
Inside one of the prison letters, Chris hinted that she wanted it done before the new baby came. He never said her name, but true crime followers knew who she was meant to be. Sean N. was 15 weeks pregnant when she was killed.
Nicole would do whatever it took to not say Shanann's name.
A fact that haunted both the investigation and public opinion. Was Chris suggesting that Nichol had pressured him to end his family before the child arrived?
Yes.
Investigators had once searched Nichol's phone. They found deleted browser history, late-night searches like how to delete text messages permanently, and can cops trace phone data after it's deleted.
Yeah, that's
She
not
had
suspicious.
Googled Amber Fry, the mistress of murderer Scott Peterson, long before Sean and disappeared. Those searches were dismissed as curiosity. But now, they felt chillingly prophetic.
Oh, like the book deal that she wanted to rack in off of?
When the letters leaked, old case files resurfaced online, reports, photos, timestamps. Nothing new, officially. But digital forensics experts claimed there were gaps in the data. Missing pings, unaccounted hours, text messages that had been wiped from both devices at the same time. Coincidence or collaboration? Chris's words echoed through every line of those letters. She started this. She said it would be easier if it looked like they left me. Was it a desperate man?
Because there was a woman that went missing before Shanann went missing. And they're like, she went missing. Nobody is questioning it. Let's make Shanann look like she disappeared. It's a foolproof plan.
Shifting blame, or a guilty man finally hinting at the truth. The deeper we look, the murkier it gets. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters.
I know a lot of these AI channels have been popping up lately and so forth, but there are like one or two of them that actually have like credibility. And I've seen some letters that unfortunately I can't show because I've been sworn to not show them or I will get in trouble. There's pictures that I've seen that I'm not allowed to discuss because if I do, I could be in trouble. But I'm telling you from what I've seen and what I've heard, Nichol is involved in some shape or form. It's that one piece that I have to find that ties her there. I've seen pictures. I've seen, like, you could say, oh yeah, that could be her. But at the same time, you can say, oh, that, I don't know, that could be somebody else. We don't know, but there's somebody that was there that morning with Chris.
True crime. Because in Chapter 4, the evidence hidden in plain sight might change everything. When detectives closed the Watts case in 2018, they believed they had every piece of evidence. Texts, GPS logs, surveillance footage, the confession.
Right here.
But as time passed, quiet anomalies began to surface. Some were small, almost invisible at first glance. Others were impossible to ignore. In one newly analyzed clip from Shanann's home security camera, recorded hours before her murder, Chris can be seen pacing nervously through the living room. But in the reflection of a nearby window, there's a faint movement outside. Someone standing just beyond the porch light. Investigators dismissed it as a trick of the shadows. Internet sleuths weren't so sure. Then came the phone records. Shanann's last incoming message, time-stamped minutes before her arrival home from her business trip, had no corresponding number, just unknown. The same hour, Nichol Kessinger's cell pinged briefly near Frederick, Colorado, then went dark for nearly 5 hours. Digital forensic experts later pointed out that
and her alibi is that she was with Jim that morning, but her phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado. She didn't show up to work until almost an hour before she had to leave at 3. She doesn't want them to talk to Jim. Why else? Because Jim would have said, yeah, I wasn't with her. I was by myself. So then that puts Nichol where?
this gap aligned almost perfectly with the timeline of Shanann's murder. Could it be coincidence? Possibly. But
I don't believe in coincidences.
when the letter from prison referenced someone waiting outside, coincidence began to feel like denial. Rumors claimed investigators revisited the data after public pressure reignited the case online. A prison
But who else is silencing it? The DA.
insider even alleged Chris grew panicked after hearing the word
Alleged.
reinvestigation. No official agency has confirmed this, of course. But for a case this notorious, silence can often speak louder than words. If these patterns are real, if the evidence in the shadows points to another presence that night, then everything we thought we knew about the Watts murders may be incomplete. Weeks after the first letters leaked, a third one surfaced, darker, more desperate, and written in Chriswatts' unmistakable handwriting. Unlike the earlier messages, this one didn't hint. It named names. It described moments. And for those who read it, it felt like staring into the mind of a man haunted by the ghosts of his own creation. He
Wow.
began by writing that the weight of the truth had become unbearable. They think I acted alone, he said. But someone else was there. She helped me plan it. She told me how to make it quick. The words were scrawled unevenly, as if his hand shook. He went on to claim that Nichol Kessinger knew everything, and that she didn't want to lose what we had. He described how she allegedly told him that Sean and
She literally said, you're not the only one that's addicted. You are something that I crave. Chris and her said it back and forth. She was obsessed with Chris to the point where she was Googling his house, his father, Shanann. I mean, she was Googling everything. Wedding dresses. She was in her own obsession with Chris. And a lot of people with obsessions, they're willing to do anything and everything to continue having that addiction. And Nicole's addiction was Chris.
would never let him go. That if he didn't act, their new life could never begin. For years, people had speculated whether Chris was protecting Nichol out of obsession or guilt. But this letter
And it's not because of a baby. They didn't have a baby.
suggested something darker, that their connection had been far more intertwined than anyone knew. Some dismissed it as fantasy, a desperate attempt by a killer to shift blame and seek attention. But others saw patterns that matched his earlier confessions. Similar phrasing, same remorseful tone, but new details that aligned with real-world evidence.
Can we ever believe the man? That's the problem.
Even more chilling was the postscript. She promised me I wouldn't have to live with this forever. Those words raised an unthinkable question. Was someone outside those prison walls still trying to silence the truth? Whatever the answer, this letter reignited public outrage and a renewed cry for answers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime, because in the next chapter, the fallout from this revelation reaches beyond the prison walls. When the third letter made its way online, it tore through the true crime community like wildfire. Overnight, forums, podcasts, and YouTube channels lit up with debates.
Not just me.
Was this a real confession, or the desperate delusion of a man living in guilt and isolation? Law enforcement stayed silent, but that silence only made the noise louder. Reporters began contacting the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, demanding to know if the documents were being authenticated. Inside Dodge Correctional, Chris reportedly became agitated. Guards described him as restless, pacing in his cell, refusing meals, clutching a worn Bible and muttering prayers under his breath. Then came the rumors that someone from outside had tried to contact him again. An untraceable letter addressed only to Christopher. No return name, no address, just one short message written in black ink. Don't say my name. Whether that letter was real or another fabrication, no one could say for sure. But it was enough to ignite fresh fear. Did Nichol Kessinger, the woman who had vanished into a new identity after the murders, still hold sway over him? Or was Chris creating ghosts to escape the weight of his own conscience? Shanann's family spoke out, calling the letters insults to the dead. They said no new confession could ever bring back the truth, that the only facts that
some of the stuff that I've seen on some different Facebook groups that are ridiculously and grossly disgusting about Shanann. And it's like, how could you disrespect the dead? We're supposed to be respecting those that are deceased. Rest in peace. Not disrespectful in peace. Like,
mattered were the lives lost. But behind the grief, there was unease. If these letters were genuine, then someone else out there might still be hiding in plain sight.
he could have the letters, send them out, and the police grab them and then remove them at the DA's request. Can't tell me that stuff like that doesn't happen.
And for the first time since the case closed, whispers began circulating. Was a quiet reinvestigation already underway? The letters had done more than reopen old wounds. They had enraged a family still fighting to breathe under the weight of their loss. When Shanann's parents, Frank and Sandra Razusek, read Chris's words for the first time, they were devastated, but not surprised. They'd always believed that Chris had more lies to tell. What shocked them most was that, after all these years, he still couldn't take full responsibility.
Nope.
In a private interview, Frank spoke softly but firmly, saying, "He's trying to blame anyone but himself. My daughter is gone because of him, no one else." His eyes betrayed the exhaustion of a man who had replayed the same nightmare for 7 years, and still couldn't wake up. Behind
I can imagine what him and Sandy go through.
the scenes, sources claimed that the Rzusek family's attorney contacted state officials, demanding clarification. Were these letters real? Was the prison protecting Chris from scrutiny? The response was tight-lipped, no comment. But an insider whispered that certain materials had indeed been turned over for review. Chris, meanwhile, reportedly wept during a
He's trying to say, like, Nichol Kessinger's name, and anything that comes out gets silenced. That's why the only thing that came out was his Jezebel did him wrong.
phone call to his mother, Cindy Watts, saying, "It's all coming back again. I can't take it anymore." Cindy begged him to pray, but privately admitted she didn't know what to believe. Had her son finally told the truth, or had he lost touch with reality completely? The families were once again thrust into opposing worlds. One still mourning, the other still searching for redemption. The lines between guilt, delusion, and obsession had blurred beyond recognition. And as news of the letters spread further, a darker question began to echo online. If Chris wasn't lying this time, who else has blood on their hands? 7 years after that August morning in 2018, the Chris Watts case still refuses to rest. Every letter, every whisper.
And yet, if I'm silenced, if I'm quieted, or if I am, I would say removed, but if I stop doing these videos, there are other channels that will make these videos. If you type in Chris Watts, there's like, is it 1,000.9 channels that have talked about Chris Watts? And I'm not the big channels. I'm a middle class. There are people that have millions of followers. This will not die with me. If I am gone from this world tomorrow, God takes me home, I am not, or this case will continue to thrive in the Watts or the crime community. I just jumped on the bandwagon almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. And when I see something that really bothers me, I'm going to talk about it.
Every claim reopens wounds that never healed. And with this final wave of alleged confessions, one haunting reality emerges. The truth may never fully surface.
That's the scary
Inside
part.
Dodge Correctional, Chris remains confined to a small cell, spending most of his time in prayer or isolation.
23 hours a day.
But guards have noticed a shift, an anxiousness, a paranoia that wasn't there before. He's said to believe that people outside want to silence him, that he's being watched, that they won't let the truth come out. Whether delusion or guilt, no one can say. Meanwhile, investigators quietly monitor the online chaos. Each new
Nichol
rumor,
Kessinger.
each leaked letter, is dissected by millions, but none have yet been verified. Nichol Kessinger, the woman whose name still hangs like a shadow over the case, remains out of sight, perhaps with a new identity, perhaps living a different life. What makes this story so unsettling is not just what Chris did, but how it keeps evolving, like a wound that refuses to close. Every time we think we've reached the end, another letter, another claim, another mystery appears. Some believe this is all manipulation, that Chris is twisting the narrative from behind bars.
Could be.
Others believe there's more to uncover, that justice, as we know it, may still be incomplete.
That's me.
Whatever the truth is, one fact remains undeniable. 3 innocent lives were lost, and the darkness surrounding that night still echoes through every word,
I hate when they forget Nico.
every whisper, every lie. If this case chills you as much as it haunts us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime.
I mean, the channel makes very good points that this case continues to be silenced. This case can continue to go on. But there are people that want this case to be because things were done too fast. Things were not done by quality of police officers on the case. There were good ones, and there were ones that were doing some deals. And a lot of the people that I've spoke with, I mean, I've spent hours, if not days, talking to people that, yes, want to be anonymous and have claimed that they just want to give their 2 cents. And you can believe me or not, that's fine with you. I know my truth. And a lot of them say that this case was handled on a grade level of a D. It wasn't failing. There was like some good parts that were done right. Chris Watts being one of them. Tammy and Coder did a great job on getting him to express his confession to his dad. But what others should have been doing is the same thing that Tammy and Coder were doing as well. Put your thoughts down below in the comments. Again, we can be positive about this. We don't have to sit there and be nasty and negative towards each other in the comments. But again, comments are on to those that write them. What people write in the comments, it's needs to be professional, but it needs to be also respectful. And with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this reaction. It definitely makes me still annoyed that nothing legal is being done about this. But again, it's that one piece that we got to find, and hopefully one day, if myself or somebody else finds it, I hope this opens like a Pandora's box and it just continues to spread, and people can't stop it from being released. Right now, somebody's got they're pushing the cover on top of this box, and they're pushing it down, and we're trying to get out, or the information is trying to get out, and it's still being suppressed down. So, again, I thank you guys for being here. Please take care, be safe. As always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.